Touchdown confirmed.
Yes.
Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the signs of past life.
NASA's Perseverance rover, affectionately called Percy, landed on Mars Thursday, beginning its historic mission for evidence of ancient life on the red planet. But already, we are not alone. The UAE and China have orbiters circling Mars, with China's expected to land there in May. So why the sudden convergence on Mars? And what do we hope to learn from these missions? Here to discuss is former NASA astronaut Mike Massimino. Mike, good to see you. First, if you would, lay out how significant this is. Explain how this Mars trifecta came about and what the three missions aim to accomplish.
Sure, Pamela. Thanks for having me. And it's a pretty exciting time. And it's interesting, as you mentioned, it's not just the U.S., it's other countries as well. All part of Mars 2020. That's when all these spaceships started heading toward Mars. And it's not just coincidence that they all kind of left around the same time and are arriving around the same time. Because our planets are in different orbits, there's only certain times throughout the years where they're close enough that you can get there expeditiously. And so that happens about every year and a half or so. So three countries, the U.S., the UAE, and China, as you said, took advantage of that window we had about 6-7 months ago to send their spacecraft to Mars. And it's pretty exciting because it's not just studying the planet of Mars and learning about how it might have affected the formation of Earth, or how Earth and Mars kind of went in two different directions. Is there life there, and so on, but also kind of the precursor to sending people there, which hopefully will happen the next decade or two.
Yeah, that's the big question. So what you would hope is that these other countries would share the data of what they're also getting. But China has this history of holding back some of its findings. Could that create setbacks in terms of synthesizing this data and planning future missions, planning for humans to go there?
No, I don't know. I think, most countries we cooperate with, of course, on the International Space Station, and the science communities usually cooperate pretty well and share information. So I don't know how that all is going to work out with with all the countries, but certainly I think that what we're going to learn from the U.S. mission from Perseverance is going to be a huge help. Learning how to convert the atmosphere into breathable oxygen, looking for signs of water, looking for signs of ancient life. 10 years down the road, they're looking toward returning a sample from the rover back to Earth to study. So with all that coming back, and the great pictures that are coming, and the helicopter that's going to be flying around, and they're even recording sound on the planet now on Mars, I think there's going to be a lot of science, a lot of information to keep a lot of people active for quite a while.
So what is it already telling you, that what you're hearing and seeing in these pictures, what's already being collected by Percy? What is all of this telling you about Mars?
Well, the hope is that it'll find some signs of ancient life from billions of years ago. They picked a very interesting place to land. This is a dry lake bed. It used to be the size of Lake Tahoe, and now it's dried up. This is talking billions of years ago. It was that. Now it's dried up. So they wanted to go there because they think there may be some very interesting things to find, maybe on the surface or just underneath the surface when it looks, maybe signs of microbial life, signs of water, where we can maybe use that in the future. But in order to get there, they need a lot of artificial intelligence and autonomy to land in that very interesting place, because it was a hard place to land. But they pulled that off. And I think now that engineering miracles have taken place to get the spacecraft there, I think the science will begin in earnest. But we're going to find out a lot. Hopefully we'll find out the things that we're hopeful about, like signs of life, water, and so on. But we'll have to wait and see a little bit.